Hey, Shalom. All praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops, the great millstone. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. Ishbel Chanak coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Shalom to the believers. This is a walk and talk, but I didn't already say that. And I'm going to call this one something around the lines of not even the preppers are going to make it. Okay? Not even the preppers are going to make it. We all know what preppers are. You know, those that are prepping for the imminent collapse, as they say. It's just a matter of when, not if. In most people's belief. And these preppers, they believe that, you know, since they understand somewhat what's going on, especially financially, and how, you know, the government is, you know, changing laws and taking away the freedoms, mainly here in America. Not so much in Europe. You do have preppers in Europe. You have was it Prepper Lily or Survivor Lily? She's from Europe. I'm not sure if she's German but you know, she's a prepper out there in Europe. You do have some, but mainly here in America. And they're preparing for the imminent collapse, stocking up food, you know, buying guns. Some of them have bunkers. Some of them have food storages. Some of them have, you know, they're out in the boonies. You know, compounds, and then, you know, you got certain preppers that are within the city limits as well that, you know, stocking up food and water, you know, buying ammunition. You know, everybody has a different, you know, level of prepping, but you have a lot of preppers. Also, you have YouTube channels that push the spirit of prepping. You know, they'll review certain items, and they'll tell you how to start a fire, you know, how to do this, how to do that, how to grow food, you know, out of a bucket, you know, how to filter water, right? So you see how they've been storing up this knowledge of how to survive during a collapse. They're buying gold and silver, right? They're stocking up, you know. Esau, he's extreme with it. He's teaching his children, you know, how to shoot, how to cauterize a wound. You see what I'm saying? You know, even some of them go on to foraging, you know, foraging for wild edibles. Okay, I want to bring out a scripture. I'm gonna go to 2 Ezra 15, but I want to bring this one out first. And this is going to be in Amos 5, right? Because regardless of all these things that they're doing, they're not even going to make it. The only ones that are going to make it are the elect, and the elect are not prepping in that aspect, in that regard. You know, buying MREs. Meals ready to eat, you know, buying, you know, guns, long rifles, and knives to be able to skin animals. There's a lot of knowledge, you know. And man has really lost that knowledge, especially out here in the West, because everything's done for you. Okay, let me just bring this out. This is Amos 5, and let me start at 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. You know, going into these Christians that talk about how Jesus is coming back, you know, talk about how they can't wait to see the Lord, you know, when they don't have no clue. And you're going to have a lot of them, which there already are, on a comment board saying, oh yeah, Jesus is coming back. We're at the end times. And they, you know, boast themselves of knowing Jesus, right? We know that's not his name. And hastening his return. But the scriptures say, woe Woe unto you. To what end is it for you? Is not the day of the Lord, is not the day of the Lord is darkness? I'm sorry. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. So this is speaking about the day of the Lord. All right, which is the return of who the world ignorantly calls Christ, right? Jesus, which his name is Yahweh Shai. But going into that day, we're going to be in the day of the Lord. Ultimately, there's an actual day, which is when he comes, at the height of World War III. But even within that, you're going to have the evil day. Okay. And this is explaining how this day is going to be. Okay, to those that the Most High is not going to deliver. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on a wall. I'm sorry, I'm walking, I'm all over the place right now. Let me just read this again. Salakia. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. So here a lion and a bear are two vicious creatures. To you to come face to face with a lion and a bear and escape, that's a miracle. Okay? And this is basically equating the day of the Lord, okay, to two vicious animals. Okay, and you literally escape these vicious animals, right? Or went into the house and leaned. So you made it into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. Ultimately, you're going to be destroyed. That's the point. These preppers. Let me just go right to that scripture. We'll see how long. It shouldn't be too long, right? But ultimately, you're going to be destroyed. Not even the preppers, and they're actually anticipating it right now as we speak. They're taking the money out of the banks, right? They're converting the gold and silver. All right, they got different types of knives to do different things. They got their whole water storage. Some of them have bunkers. I was just told by a gentleman he got enough food for about 10 years, I believe. He said 4 to 10 years. I forget. It was probably in my, I had some videos, some previous videos. I spoke about it, and this was just a random guy, and we had a conversation, and it led to finding out that he's a prepper, but you would never know. Okay, so you got a lot, especially Esau. Jake ain't prepping. Jake don't know what the hell is going on. Okay, that's why these things gonna take Jake by surprise. But even then, right? Even then, the preppers are not gonna even make it. Here, Jake just wide open. Jake butt naked. The Israelites, they're in poverty. They don't have no clue of what's going on. They don't have any food storage to last them through any type of duration, right? Most of them are living paycheck to paycheck. They didn't stock up anything. They don't have the ability to, the space to run water or to have vegetables and, a garden and, chickens and a goat. You know what I mean? They don't have that cattle. There's Edomites that have it, but a lot of Edomites too. They're not prepared. But even the preppers, though, that's the thing. Even those who stocked up all this food, that live in the mountains, that do this, that do that, right? You met a lion, you escaped the lion, and then you met a bear, then you escaped the bear. You escaped the famine. You escaped the marauders. You escaped the earthquakes, right? You escaped the sedition. You escaped, those going house to house because of the lack of, bread, the lack of resources. You escaped all that. But then that serpent, that flying, fiery serpent, if you hear, I'm speaking as if you're here in America. If you're here in America, you're going to receive that fire if you're not part of the elect. The only ones that are going to make it are the elect. That's the point. Okay? Let me see where I'm going to start at. 2nd Ezra 15. Okay, and 56. I'm just going to kind of go to the point. This whole chapter, right? This whole chapter just goes into the breakdown of America as well as Asia, the Moabites and stuff like that, but mainly here in America, or the modern day Egypt, spiritual Egypt. Revelation 11 and 18 references that. Okay, spiritual Sodom as well. It's just Ezra's is seeing a vision of spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt being broken down and destroyed. Okay, and before that great destruction, how society is going to collapse, which these preppers, right, they're preparing for that. They're preparing for the collapse. They got the vehicles, they got solar panels, and their whole home is hooked up to the solar panels and off the grid. And they have, you got to have a lot of money to live like that. Right? 2 Ezra 15 and 56. Like as thou hast done to my chosen, said the Lord, even so shall the Most High do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Yeah, this is going to be mischief. All right, the Lord is going to deliver America into mischief. Okay, just as you've done to the Heavenly Father's chosen, meaning the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans. Well, the same people that are in these lands, these top choice lands, and make all type of money, send their children to college. They live in these plush areas. They wear the finest, eat the finest, right? They're back in the reincarnation. Okay, they're back in the reincarnation, but they were the same people that actually came over and destroyed, murdered, took advantage, committed robberies, did all manner of evil towards the inhabitants of this land. And then you brought the so-called Negro over too. So you see, this is the thing. Yeah, we were going through a punishment, yet we're still the chosen people of the Most High. See, that's what these other nations they forgot the memo. Okay, all right. So let me continue. Okay, thy children shall die of hunger. See, so Esau, that was doing good, that was proud. Proud against Jake, them Karens, living in them nice, the nice neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? Their children are going to die of hunger. Just as you starved out the so-called Native American Indian, or you would starve out Jake in slavery, for whatever reason, right? 70 AD. We can go back to 70 AD. Okay. We can go throughout many periods in history where the Edomites came against the Israelites in particular with so much fierce wrath, which it was the Most High. It was Yahweh Shemashai. But see, now the recompense is here. Okay? Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy cities shall be broken down. Right? Miserable are thy cities, the Baruch, the 4th chapter. Miserable are the cities, which are speaking about America. Okay, you could say also mainly America, but Europe is all messed up. They got a immigration issue. Okay, they got inflation. Pretty much the chickens are coming home to roost. Essentially, blowback. What the scriptures say, you reap what you sow. So Esau, you plowed iniquity, okay, and sown wickedness. You're going to reap the same. It tells you that in Job, the 4th chapter. You're going to reap what you sow. So your cities are breaking down. San Francisco is a shithole. The Bay Area is a shithole. Now you got some, certain nice areas. Of course, that's everywhere. But the main cities, all right, are full of feces, are full of weirdos, death, okay, stench, okay. It says, thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword, in the field. Are you gonna have Esau going against Esau? He gonna turn on himself, as he's already doing right now. He's gonna turn on himself like the dog that he is. Okay, he's gonna be shooting each other, taking each other's resources. Esau gonna get in the mix. He ain't gonna see an Edomite. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's that's my own people. Now he gonna be just as cutthroat, okay, as if he's seeing a so-called Negro. That's how perilous of a time that we're gonna be in. Okay, well we can get that. We'll get that where it says, friends shall fight one against another. I think it's second Ezra. I'm gonna come back here. Second Ezra 6:24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. Let me start up, and then I'm gonna jump down just to get a little bit more context. Second Ezra 6:18, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and visit them that dwell upon the earth, and I will begin to make inquisition of them. Yeah, inquisition of the Edomites, as well as the heathen nations, but mainly the Edomites. That's really where the Most High's fury is going to be placed upon. It's going to be Esau. Okay, his cities. What they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. And this is pretty much our affliction, O daughter of Zion, is accomplished. Right? Thy iniquity, O daughter of Zion, is accomplished. If I'm saying that right, I could be, I'm not quoting it verbatim, but basically we're at the end of our punishment. Right? We're at the end of our punishment, and Esau, he's at the beginning of his punishment. And the beginning of that punishment is the fiercest. Okay? Which is his cities breaking down, him breaking down, because he's actually seeing the him lose. Before you physically lose power, you lose the people's trust. You kind of spiritually lose power. People start coming up against you, like the bully that was on the block, right? When he was in his bag and he was bullying everybody, taking their money, this and that, deboing everybody. Nobody came against him. Everybody was afraid. But then you start having one dude, you start getting that talk back. People start talking back to him. Challenging him. Okay, clicking up, and he sees like, damn, I'm this is gonna be a time where I'm gonna be out of there. Esau's feeling that. I did a video years back. Esau's afraid of the changing demographics of America. All right, you had Esau. This is during the time of Trump. They were afraid that it was too many, Latinos coming over and messing up the country, right? Which, I mean, whose country was it from the get-go? And why are they coming up to America for a better life, right? To work these low-level mundane jobs, jobs that you wouldn't do, right? But why? But the reason why they're coming up is to have a better life. Why aren't they in their land? You say go back to Mexico. Well, America's policies destabilize Mexico. Okay, and you fuel the drug culture. All right, you fuel all manner of evil. When you go to the very tippity top of what all evil that's on the earth, Esau, Edom, he got his hand. He got first dibs. He's controlling it. He's the master. Okay. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall all see together. And that's pretty much, where we're at. Let me jump down. Now we're all seeing together. We're prophesying. Okay, we're seeing, what it says, 2 Thessalonians, the second chapter. Then shall that wicked be revealed. So he's being revealed on all ends. Okay, the music, especially the music industry, right? You know, pretty much everything that Esau Edom it has his hand in. All right, you could type in the origins of American medicine. Okay, and there's documents of how the Rockefellers, how they took it over and how they changed up everything. So all the truth is coming out, and a lot of people that are bringing it out are Edomites. They're bringing out, okay, the Egyptian against the Egyptian. Their own tongue shall fall upon themselves. Okay, I'm jumping down to 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Right, going to what? That famine. That's going to be another reason why, you know, it's going to be so much chaos in the earth, and why. Oh, also these people going to be here in the cities. They're going to be going into them rural areas, like you see in the Walking Dead and zombie movies, right? The city where there was a whole bunch of people that's just completely destroyed, you know, infested with zombies. But then you have certain people that were living out on the outskirts, and they were surviving. But ultimately, what the survivors that were in the city, what did they start doing? They start going into the woods. They start going into the mountains, right? And they'll scope out the place and they'll raid it. Okay, very few times it will be, you know, all right, somebody gonna split the food. Here's some food. Now they gonna kill you, because they gonna say, well, if I give you food, then I got to give everybody else food, and then they gonna take my food. That's my survival odds have diminished. It's gonna be that cutthroat, right? Which is gonna play more into these preppers being overrun with these people, you know, these people in the city. Okay, they're gonna go into them suburbs. But the suburbs, they're going to be through too. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. See? You see that? And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. There's going to be a lot of fear in the earth, because there's going to be a lot of judgments, chariot sightings. Okay, you're going to have miracles. You're going to have unexplained events. Okay, you're gonna have people getting the micro C-hip, right? Dropping dead, bugging the hell out. You're gonna be having different types of natural disasters, buildings falling down, skyscrapers. 20,000 dead, 40,000 injured. Okay, just like that earthquake out there in Syria. Okay, 50,000. Probably 100K was injured. Okay, and that's going to be here in America. Infrastructure, critical infrastructure just being broken down. No money to pay for it. War. Hey, possible foreign troops. Okay, bank collapses. Yeah, it's going to get worse than that. Okay, which you preppers, even if you off the grid. Well, we gonna go into that scripture. Let's just finish this. The springs of fountains shall stand still, and 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape. Right? Yes. By what? 2 Ezra 9. Right? We'll get that. And see my salvation and the end of your world. Right? Those that remain, they're going to actually escape and see the Lord's salvation, meaning that strange salvation, the chariots redeeming the elect. But that's through faith. Let's get how you're going to be saved. That's not through, you prepping, you carnally prepping. Because mind you, the whole land is going to be destroyed. Your bunker, your food, your gold, your silver, your guns. Okay. Everything that you have, this whole land is going to be a wasteland. There will be no, you won't find a quarter or somebody's passport or a piece of one of these buildings, You know, oh yeah, that was America, the Statue of Liberty. See, like in the Planet of the Apes. Nah, ain't gonna be none of that. Second Ezra 6. Second Ezra 9 and 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And we're going to be seeing, as we already are seeing, a lot of signs, a lot of, blood moons, lunar eclipses, star constellations. Well, I was seeing I mean, it had to be a chariot last night, I was just in my house, the window was open, and it was a bright light. At first, it caught my eye because it looked like it flashed and went off and went on. I'm like, man, am I tripping? I was like, man, I could just be tripping. I ain't, whatever. I opened the window. It looked like it just blinked on and off, So I was like, oh, I might be tripping. And then, I'm sitting and I'm just looking outside and I see that star. I see that what it looked like a star. It was super bright. And then it would dim to where I'm like, am I tripping? It would dim all the way down to where it damn near disappeared. And I was like, man, I could be tripping. It was kind of cloudy, and cloud will come in. I was like, man, I'm tripping. But then it will get super bright again, and it kept doing that maybe like 10 minutes. And I was like, hey, man, who knows? That could be that's probably a chariot. I mean, stars don't do that. Okay. But either way, we don't need to see chariots to build our faith. Those brothers, certain brothers, okay, it does build your faith. But, you've been in this thing long enough. Hey, you see a chariot, you don't see a chariot. We still know that they exist, right? But hey, the Most High does throw us little gems here and there. Certain dreams, certain chariots. Certain spiritual things. To continue to push our spirit forward. Okay? And everyone that shall be saved, right, pretty much remain, as we read in 2 Ezra 6, shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. It didn't say nothing about your guns. All right, because you know how to clean a Beretta. You got the dual action, and you got dried meats and wine, right? You got a fortified bunker out in the sticks that nobody knows where's at. You got tripwire. I remember it was either my years back. It was an old job I was working, and we was up in Seattle, I believe, and he started opening up. He lived in Minnesota, and he wanted to. Yeah, man, you ever come to Minnesota and want to invite us, to his house? He had a compound. He had booby traps, and he was a prepper ultimately. Like, yeah, you step on this, and then this is going to explode, spikes. I'm like, God damn. He tapped into a water, running under his house. I'm pretty sure at this point he got solar panels. So and it's always Esau. Jake ain't in prepping. Right? Scriptures say man shall not live by bread alone. You can be packaging all that food up and doing this and doing that. You got gold and silver. You got the checklist. You got emergency candles and emergency flashlight. With some of those things, maybe it could help you during that time. But the scriptures say that the elect are going to be, they're going to escape. Okay, by what? Faith and by works, because faith without works is dead. You see what I'm saying? But ultimately, you're going to escape through the belief in Yahweh Bashem Shai, okay, and understanding the truth. Not you knowing how to dig a well, knowing how to filter water with a can of soup, whatever. There's so many different tricks and tips, right? 10 survival hacks. How to build a shelter in the snow. A lot of people, they just going to drop dead. Meanwhile, they're on Esau's prescription drugs. They get a prescription filled every month or so. Okay, they got to come down from the mountains to get that prescription, because they cholesterol's all messed up. Okay, that's it. Let me just go back to 2 Ezra 15. So you preppers, you finish. Hey, the Lord can have you storing up all that food for the elect to eat it in that time, if need be. Okay, like in the movie The Road. And there's many instances and many films in which, they, people that was trying to survive, they found a storehouse of food. Okay, it's gonna happen again, or the Lord can just make food. 2nd Ezra 15. Let me read 57 again. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountains, right, your peppers, shall die of hunger. Okay, and then a lot of them mountain folk, that's in the hills, they might come down to the city maybe every 3 months to get supplies, stock up on supplies. Well, it's gonna come a point where you're not gonna be able to stock up on supplies. Especially out here in California, that you have the wildfires. A lot of Edomites, they be dying because they be trapped in. It be only like one road to get in and out of the particular area that they're in. Everything else is just wilderness. So, and that's bad. You don't even have an escape route. What you're going back into that scripture in Amos, right? You're not going to have a escape route. It's going to be as you met a lion and you escape from the lion and the bear met you. Then you fled from the bear. You got away. Like, oh, okay, man, I got away. You got it. You went inside the house, which is supposed to be your refuge, right? And a serpent bit you. So ultimately, if you're not part of the elect, all right, if you another nation, you here in America, you done. And the majority of, like I said, the majority of those preppers are Edomites. And why they got all them damn guns? Well, yeah, to get to protect themselves from the government, if need be. But it's to protect themselves from marauders, right? And the same chapter goes into that. It says, "And they that be in the mountains shall die of hunger." So you're gonna die of hunger too. The Lord can spoil your food, or it could just be a part where you didn't have that much food. You ran out. And eat their flesh. Because there's more people that are not prepared than there are prepared. You see what I'm saying? So, hey, going back and let me go back. Let me hit that. Let me actually hit that. I'm gonna go up in the chapter. I'm just gonna go to the point. Right. 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right. They're not going to regard government ultimately. Law. It's going to be anarchy. Okay. So it's going to be, it said, invading one another. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. They're going to have them 15-minute cities set up. You're going to have, caution zones or no entry zones. You won't be able to enter into this particular city. Okay, you got guards and, you got militias that won't allow you to come, into this particular area. Roadblocks, curfews. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. So you preppers, you gonna get sacked. You gonna get invaded. Okay, because your neighbor know that you a prepper. Okay, you got a YouTube channel. All right, they gonna find your ass, and they gonna come and they gonna put you to death. Okay, put any of the men to death. Okay, take the women. Okay, if they're into that, you never know. They might take you. All right, or eat you. Okay. If if you make it that far, your child probably, they're going to take your child, put your child to death by the sword. Okay. Or leave, or just take everything, beat you up, leave, and take everything and don't leave you nothing. Now you and your family, they didn't put you to death, but now you and your family, you're going to starve to death. You got a broken leg. You're the sole provider. What you going to do with a broken leg? What is the woman going to do? She's done. She's finished. You women that don't have a hedge, a man of the Lord at the head, you're completely done. You're gonna receive it the worst, because you're gonna really understand that you actually had no power. You said that you don't need a man. That very statement is a contradiction, because you're in the position because a man put you in that position, Esau, Edom. And when we read, they should not regard the kings nor princes. So the only thing that's keeping you alive, or people invading each other, taking, women getting kidnapped, this and that, is because there's order and law. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So let's just go back and read that again. We're just going to wrap it up. 2 Ezra 15 and 58, they that be in the mountains shall die of hunger. So it don't matter where you at, ultimately. You can be in the city. If you in the city, you finished. Okay? If you on the outskirts, las afueras, right? You in the mountains, okay? It don't matter. Okay? You're gonna be destroyed. You're gonna die of hunger. And that's a terrible way to go out. The scriptures say how many there be that are going to die of hunger. Okay, more than that's going to die of the sword. That's really how the elite's going to really kill a whole bunch of people, which is the Most High. It's through hunger, not through the sword. It's real hard to go and actually murder, people like that. They gonna do it through. They're gonna do it through famine, cutting off the food supply, and it's gonna happen suddenly. And drink their own blood for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. Right? They're gonna eat their children. If they're gonna, when it said drink their own blood, right? They're gonna actually eat their own. Okay? They're gonna eat the flesh and drink the blood. They're gonna be that. They're going to be that finished. Okay. Let me see. Thou as unhappy shall come through the sea and receive plagues again, and in the passage shall rush on the idle city and shall destroy some portion of the land. I mean, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it on that, I just wanted to kind of go into that. Actually, I was watching a video earlier, watching different, staying up to date, in tune. And this finance guy that I watch, he's pushing more towards prepping too, because he's telling you what's going on, but he wants to inform you, how to prepare for it, So, and he always says, those that are prepared, they're going to be able to weather the storm, then people that are not prepared. No. No. See, they're not taking in consideration, even the elites. Okay. They're not taking in consideration. This is actually the work of Yahweh Shema Shai. And the Lord has every soul. Either he's going to destroy, in his mind, or he's going to save, right? The book of life. If you're not written in the book of life, ultimately, if you don't have that Dawah, Ezekiel the 9th chapter, you're gonna be destroyed. It don't matter how much gold and silver. The scriptures say, riches profit not in a day of wrath, right? The day of evil. Okay, and even if you in the mountains, you a prepper, you got this, you got that. It doesn't matter. You still gonna die of hunger. You still gonna eat your children. That's how bad. The Most High, he can literally spoil. He can spoil all your food. He can have marauders come and take your food, leave your ass alive. Okay? So, and this is all judgment upon Esau, first and foremost, America. All right, you heathen nations, and 2/3 of our people that are going to fall victim. All right, to these different plagues that are getting ready to hit this place. Ultimately, the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. All right, until next time, shalom to the elect.